at the general membership meeting. This is an official meeting of ICA. It's an opportunity for members from the floor to ask questions of the board. Obviously, there's only one board member up here at the moment.
I'm a member of the board. I just don't vote.
Doug doesn't vote, but he's certainly across everything that's happening with our board, and there's a couple of board members in the room as well. We have had, since last time we had a meeting that was in Dubai, we've crossed a lot of bridges, we've encountered lots of issues, but I'm very happy to report that your association is in very good hands. I must commend the efforts of our office team. We have, for those who don't know, we only have 3 employees and we have 0 officers now. So COVID coming along meant we really had to shake things up and trim back, and we've done that. And we've actually got our accounts into a very good shape. For some of the older members in the room who may have served on previous boards, they would know very well that with ICA, our income comes from 4 different areas. Membership is one, trade shows is another, sponsorships is another, and probably the second most important one is income from congresses. So COVID threw all of that out the window. We had 3 years where we couldn't have a congress, and it taught us a very valuable lesson that we need to have cash flow that can sustain us through events like that. So that meant we had to trim our office team. We had to close all of our physical offices, and it's meant a mountain of work for Doug and Claudia especially, and also Maggie in Hong Kong, and for our incredible board, all volunteers, and many of our board are putting in enormous hours for this association, for you, our members, to make things work. As a result of all that, we've now got our finances into a position where in a non-Congress year, we can break even. That has never been the case. We would always probably have a cash flow negative of $200,000 or $300,000 in a non-Congress year. So we've had to deal with that. We've also had to deal with the new norm in relation to congresses, and that is that once, not so long ago, once upon a time, we would have countries throwing money at ICA and bidding to hold the Congress, and ICA could pick and choose which one was the best offer and which one was going to be the best location. And the money went straight to ICA and as profit, and all the work was done locally. Well, now we've got the exact opposite. We don't have any country at the moment in a position to throw money at ICA to hold a Congress right at the moment. That might change, but we have had to learn to run a Congress and do it and underwrite the whole thing ourselves. So we accept all of the risk and we take whatever we can in terms of revenue. So this Congress was an incredible event, and we had to take risk to put it on, and thankfully, thanks to our sponsors, thanks to our attendees, we've been able to break even, and probably, we don't know the final results yet, but it would have been hopefully financially positive, but nevertheless, a great event. Doug is going to go through our profit and loss and balance sheet for 2024. We are a registered not-for-profit company in the United States of America, and we report our results as at the 31st of December in each year. So Doug will go through that, and you're welcome to ask questions. If you want detail about anything, we probably might not be able to get it for you right now, but we can get you detail. There are some big issues ahead for ICA. I mean, one that we're facing right now is the tariff issue, and it's probably the question that Doug and I get asked the most right at the moment. What's happening? How do we deal with it? What have we got to do? What's the future? Well, we can't predict the future. We can only look at what's happening right now and what you need to do. So even as this Congress has been going on, we've had a working party working in the background, looking at the issues, looking at what we can do for our members, and we will be announcing very soon a webinar series for members who need to get information about the legalities, about the customs and border issues that they might be confronted with, and the various options for doing business with America. So that will be a fantastic service for our members. There are far too many things for me to talk about right here, but our new board will be convening straight after this meeting, their very first meeting as a new board, welcoming our new members and setting down all the teams that will form our 13 committees that we have within ICA, covering all aspects of what ICA gets involved in. And the opportunity, and I invite members, if you are interested in helping with any of these committees, you would be most welcome. So, come forward and see Doug or myself afterwards, and we can maybe suit you up with a team jersey for whichever committee that we're going to form. So those committees still haven't been finalised yet. They'll all be new members, and there'll be new chairpersons for each of those committees. That's about all from me, and I'm going to hand over to Doug.
How many people? Oh, you turn it on. Hello. Yeah, you turn it off. Hello. No. Oh, you turned it off.
Will I have to talk to him?
There you go. You turned it off.
I'm actually an accomplished speaker. I've handled one of these things before. How many of you have served on boards before? Okay, so you know that the point where we're at right now, where we start looking at balance sheets and P&L statements, if you need to go to the bathroom or if you need to nod off or something like that. But I'd like to say a couple of things. First of all, you're here in Brazil, which tells me that you are committed to this association, and I appreciate that. You're here at the membership meeting, which tells me you're committed to this association. If you really want to get to know any association, you cannot do it by coming to board meetings. You need to get involved in the committee level. You do not have to be on a committee to take a look at the financials. I'm going to show you a summary, a P&L statement summary, and I'm going to show you a balance sheet, both December ending 24. But anytime you want to see more, all you have to do is contact me at the office. We don't routinely send out a lot of the detail because people just throw it away and they're not reading it. But if you have a need, a want, a desire to see it, you can do that. I'm not doing that because I'm a nice guy or that the staff is nice. That is the New York State not-for-profit law. As not-for-profits, not just members, anyone can call us up and take a look at our financials. So that's the way you really get a handle around what's going on, what's taking place. So if I could, Claudio, would you pull up the P&L statement summary, please? I would like to remind everybody again while he's pulling that up that every session that was here this week is going to be on YouTube, available through our website. So if you would proselytize for us, tell your friends, man, you missed a great thing. You got to see Sarah's presentation, or you got to see this or that. That really gets us. I would really love to see 400 or 500 people at these congresses. I really, really would. And we're capable of doing it. We have 600 members, and you don't have to be a member to come in and see this, the Congress. So at any rate, Claudio, would you, whenever I look at a P&L statement, I always go right down to where? The bottom line, okay? So Claudio, if you would scroll down to the bottom, please. All right. As you can see here, Damien said that last year was a non-Congress year. And what he means by that is that Congress is one of our major income producers. We have membership and Congress are the two primary. We do have sponsors for particular events, and we do have advertising possibilities that we're going to be paying more attention to. But typically, with membership, Congress provided us the resources to get through 2 years until we have the next Congress, okay? Last year, the end of the year was the end of the second year, and you can see that we finished up with about $2,789. So we did finish up in the black in a non-Congress year, okay? And we're very pleased that does not happen easily, but we did do that. You can also see that we didn't finish as well as we wanted to. Okay, we're about $27,000 to $30,000 off of where we hoped to be. Now, Claudia, if you'd scroll up to the top of the balance sheet. I'm not going to go through, we do have to be out of here at 3 o'clock, and I won't go through all the details, but the up on the income section that you're looking at right now, red numbers are not good. That means we fell short. If you get down into the expenses, red numbers are good. Okay, because that means we didn't spend as much money as you want to make. I think that what you see when, and you can take this home, this is going to be up on the website and things. We do well with membership. Our membership is growing. Our efforts to collect our membership dues have become more, as you get more members, it's not as easy to get everyone to pay their dues. And so that's one issue that we have to be on top of to keep our membership growing and make sure that it's growing with the right people. We don't want to just have people say, I want to be a member of ICA and here's a credit card. We do have requirements that we need to maintain the quality of membership as well, but we always want to grow it. The other considerations you'll see is that we have brought In Color Magazine back. In Color Magazine is an expense for us almost always. We have in the past done 4 issues. When we reintroduced it, we decided to let's do 3 issues. Okay, so there's not so much pressure in getting it out and producing advertising. In our budget at the beginning of 24, we were still saying we're going to do 4. So when you see that there's income missing from In Color Magazine or communications there, it's because we didn't have the income from the magazine that we didn't produce. Does that make sense? You will also see down under expenses, you won't see that there's going to be about $25,000, $30,000 in expenses we did not occur. So you're going to have red up above and red down below that kind of wash each other out. Without getting too wonky, again, we have, in working with the board, in working with the different committees, in Claudio and I working together and Maggie working in Hong Kong, we've tried to be very careful about the money we spend. It is challenging to increase your revenue. You can do it, but it's not a simple thing to do. your expenses are a lot simpler. It may hurt, it may be painful, you may not enjoy it, but I can take care of expenses. I can only work towards income. Does that make sense? And that's what we have been doing. I have very high hopes in working with the boards that are coming back and the people that are coming on, new boards. We're going to do some things to try to keep driving more revenue. Our magazine, In Color Magazine, I hope you all took a look at it while you were here, and it's all been sent to your office. That is a class magazine, and it's going to get better. Giannis has done a great job, as the head of that committee. We've got people like Pearl and Benny. Where are you? Okay, people that and Giannis. If I forgot someone, I'm sorry. That contribute articles. We really need articles, and if you want to promote your business, it's a great way to do it. But we can do a lot better job of selling advertising. It's just a question of having the resources and time to do it. But we're going to focus on that and see if we can't get that taken care of, because if we can sell another $50,000 or $100,000 in advertising, which is very easy to do, you can see that our bottom line is going to go from $2,000 retained earnings to, $100,000. Giannis, there should be a mic out there somewhere. I'm not. You want to borrow this one?
Thank you very much. I would like to please everybody that likes to submit any article to do so. Even if you're not writing an article or you have any idea yourself, you can contact any other person that might be interested to send an article or to submit an article. It can be from fashion to color stones, minerals, anything that you can imagine. So we're very welcome. You can contact the office, you can contact me, you can contact Cynthia, anybody. It would be great, because we are lacking, or I will put it in another way. Every single article that we can have and win for In Color, it's a great win-win thing. Thank you very much. Yes, Doug?
How many what?
Words. Depends. It can be 5 pages, which is probably 5,000 words, 3,000 words. It can be also 2,000 or 1,000 if it's just the new trends of fashion in conjunction with the gemstones, in conjunction with color, for example. And we don't need so much to write on these articles. We have to show, okay, these are the trends, these are the gemstones that we are offering, and just to make a nice article. That's it. It's not a standard. Certainly it's going to be for sure 1,000 to 1,500 minimum. Okay?
Normally a little shorter. If you want to submit things for like the monthly newsletter, they're going to be typically a little bit shorter. But there's no real, if you take a look at the magazine, Dax, you'll see that, there are some 6 and 8 page articles and some 2-page articles. So what we need is interesting stuff that can be submitted. You do travel, you're visiting mines. I'll tell you, with the readership that we want to build, which is retail jewelers, as far as I'm concerned, that stuff being at the mines and being out in the bush, and they eat that up. They love it. Okay, so anyone that has articles that they want to submit, please do. And again, I mentioned that we also have our monthly newsletter. There is advertising available in both of these things. We're hoping to get enough advertising revenue to keep increasing our distribution of the magazine. We've talked with a couple of different country members to where we will be translating the magazine into their local language, so that people can, it's more accessible to a lot more people. And today with the technology, it's pretty easy to do. So and we've got a wonderful editor with Cynthia, but the cost in a magazine is the cost in a magazine. It's that paper and the weight and getting it out. So if you have an interest in this, talk with Giannis and talk with Damien. and let's get on that communications committee. If you have an interest in the shows, volunteer for the shows. Again, being on the committee, you begin to understand what it takes to run the association and what kind of human resources it requires. Any of the information that you want to provide here or that you want to see here, I'll be glad to provide you on a monthly basis. We're going to put it up on the website, but we're not going to just throw the entire general ledger up on the website. It doesn't make sense, but we will be putting it up.
We might
Marcelo.
want to just scroll down now. They can look at expenses.
Well, when I started as ambassador back in 1991, I remember we had a certain role to play as ambassador. And then as director that I also became, 10 years on the board, we all had some things to do. But as ambassador, I remember we had to put together our membership in our country. We had to make some meetings. We had to submit reports, what's going on in the country, not only about mining, because some countries are not about mining, but about consumer. So I think ICA should have a kind of mandatory role for the ambassadors, minimum at least, that they should fulfill. And this would help the editors to get enough material for the magazine and for the monthly thing. I believe still there, the ambassador report still, I think, still exists, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it's one of the areas that we really have to focus on now, Marcelo, are ambassadors, because there's not been enough attention paid to that. It is a great way for, first of all, you don't have a board member from every country, okay? But you can have an ambassador from every country. So the challenge is finding committed people that want to work, submit articles, do that type of thing. And if any of you wants to get involved to the point, Claudia, you want to be an ambassador as well, please contact us. I'm sure Damien will be selecting someone to chair the ambassador committee, and that is an area that definitely needs attention. And I think it's an area that we can utilize to get some younger members involved in the association too.
Some of our, I think we have about 18 ambassadors, somewhere around there. And some are very active and hold functions within their country, having events and information sessions and grow membership as well. So we certainly need to coordinate that a lot better. So we have, as Doug said, we have an ambassador committee, and there will be a chairman of the ambassador committee. And there will be recommendations come to the board for ratification of any new ambassadors.
Hi, Memo speaking. Just to concur with what Marcelo said, I remember myself also being the ambassador those years, I think 2000. It was very mandatory, but I don't know if it has changed. The rules have changed, but it was mandatory for every ambassador after 3 months to give a report. And most of the reports, they were speaking about the countries they are representing. So if we could be able to revive that, I think that will help to give the information of all what is happening. The only thing we need to do, I think, is to revive that. It was mandatory for every ambassador to give a report every month. I remember we used to do that without fail, so that you get the full information of what is going on or what is happening.
Okay, Mima, what we need is an ambassador from Kenya, because once people get above 14, it's very difficult to make things mandatory anymore. Everyone is a volunteer. There are people who will want to volunteer and do the work. And what you need to do, you guys can do, volunteer or find us an ambassador, and that'll be great. Monsieur, I
sir.
know you have a question,
Let-
but I have to, I'm sorry. I'll let you speak in just a moment.
Okay.
We have to be out of here in 5 minutes. And I apologize because they're turning this room over into the ballroom tonight and we're committed. So Mimo, if you'd finish up, then we'll go to Mahul and Giannis, and then we're pretty much out. I'm sure you had
Just to
question.
report, yes, we have an ambassador from Kenya who is a Gen Z, who does not want to have all these things, and he can report everything about African continent when it comes to mining. So yes, we
Perfect.
have one.
We'll talk with him soon. Monsieur?
See what happened, there was a ambassadors WhatsApp group created about 2 years, 2.5 years ago. I don't know what happened to it, it disappeared. And what used to happen is the board used to communicate to the ambassadors. That has completely, for the last 5-6 years, nothing happening. So, you know, the ambassadors, we can have a meeting, we can send a report, but it is also the responsibility of the board to communicate to the, if there is something they are discussing which has implication. And the other thing about the color magazine, In Color, 6 to 7 years ago, in India, we used to get a bulk shipment because 90% of them are in Jaipur, 10% out. That's how you will save money. Like in Bangkok, you send it to the ambassador, let him distribute it.
Yeah, Mahul, we've been investigating the shipment of the magazines, and what used to work 10, 15 years ago isn't working anymore. So what we're doing, if we can do bulk shipments, we will. But the problem with bulk shipments, they're coming in and we're reliant upon the Postal Service in a particular country, which may be good on occasion, may not, but we're looking at that. We are. Monsieur, you had a question.
Yeah, I come from Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka has the most members right now, 49. But so far, there are many members to be joined. There are 2 associations in Sri Lanka, like China Fort Jambanjar Association and Colombo Association. Which China Fort only has more than 3,000 members who are involved in gem business. We can bring them into ICA. If we have the right ambassadors or directors taking the right actions in Sri Lanka, we can have a great, because the local association doesn't get, for the members doesn't get the right information about ICA exactly. So it's better to have a right ambassador and active director boards to do more well in ICA. And we have 2 shows. We can have a nice ICA reception. So and we can have more members. We can do a lot because we can bring in more members to ICA which accumulate income.
Yeah. So we have had roles to play at Berrawoola and at the Facets show, and we've had board members there presenting. The growth of membership in Sri Lanka is the potential is huge. Obviously, there might be a barrier with a $700 membership fee, and it's not just a membership fee. Anybody coming into ICA as a member has to be referred by 3 other standing members, and then it goes to the board for ratification. But yes, I'm sure there's tremendous growth in Sri Lanka. Yeah, thank you. Giannis.
May I ask you how many of you are sending pictures and material to bring it or to post it in our media? It's free. You can send a picture with an information to the office, and we can post it in the media, making advertisement for you for free. You are entitled to do it, and I would be happy, and we'll be all happy from the office and the directors to see this coming. And also, if you can inform your other members, other colleagues that you have that are members, that they can send this, and it's free for you to use. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Giannis. Are there any questions on the accounts as you see them? Did you want to put up the balance sheet?
No, I don't. But if you want, our balance sheet is showing us at about $100,000, or I'm sorry, about $78,000. We had $5,000 in retained earnings at the end of 23. And as I said, we brought 2,700 or 2,800 to the bottom line. So we've got a cushion there, but we can't do the remodel in my home office the way we're planning. We're going to have to continue to be cautious. But where you guys can really help, okay, if we run into a jam and you're in a country where we've got a member that we need to hammer on the head and say, get some dues, we'll give you a call. And secondly, if there's advertising opportunities, but you want to bring some people to the table with ads, it would be very helpful. I will, Marcelo, you're trying to get it smaller on the screen, I think, and they're working on that, but I'm going to send the documents here to everyone. And also, we are going to post these on the website, you guys, but we're not putting it up for the public. We're going to put it in the member portal. If you have not used the member portal yet, it's designed so that only members can get in there. But if you haven't used it, give me a call, give Claudia a call, and we'll walk you through it. It's pretty simple once you learn how to use it. It's not as convenient as WhatsApp, but it's for our members only, okay? Whereas WhatsApp is kind of, doesn't necessarily exclude non-members, okay? Anything you want to see, if it's not on the website, or not in the member portal, give me a call. I'll get a bunch of stuff together and I'll send it to you right away, okay?
Hi.
The expected revenue from the Congress?
The question was, what's the expected revenue from the Congress? What's the expected profit or revenue? Profit. We're still incurring expenses, but look, I would think we're going to turn in a small profit, somewhere 50 to 100,000, I would think. I'm not sure, but
The presentation we made on Wednesday. The presentation that we made on Wednesday isn't going to show up until about Monday or Tuesday. Okay. I looked at the bank account today and I see no records of any, and I know some people have made some donations. So normally it takes a couple days because you're using Stripe to get the donations. So when those come through, believe me, I'm going to be putting them up there as well, because I think that I could see people were interested in giving. And thank you very much for what you do there. Okay? Okay.
One question. I'm a little bit lost here. We have the members, the directors, and also the ambassadors, or are the same? It's not very clear for me the structure or who is who here.
The directors are elected officials of the 501c6. The board of directors has responsibilities, fiduciary responsibilities, responsibilities that are assigned to them by the bylaws, approval of membership. They have particular duties and responsibilities, and they also have protections, like a director and officer's liability policy. So they are the official board and members representing ICA. Ambassadors are a device that ICA developed to say, we need to have some representatives in different countries. So if you would volunteer, we would love to have you as an ambassador. There are no fiduciary responsibilities. There's no D&O protection. It's just that there's someone there in the country that wants to communicate with us, and consequently, we can communicate their message out to all the members. Board members are official, ambassadors are unofficial.
the ambassador's role is, if you go to the ICA website, you can see in the bylaws. You can see the actual role of the ambassador, but it's actually the ambassadors can be the spokesperson for ICA in that country. And as Doug said, we can't have every country represented on the board, although we probably have 15 countries represented. But we have memberships in 40 to 50 countries, so we could have ambassadors in many of these countries.
How do you select the ambassadors and what are the criteria?
The selection process is we have an ambassador committee, so people can be nominated. The ambassador committee puts that to the board of directors if they feel that it's worthy and that they recommend it. So they'll recommend an ambassador, a new ambassador to the board, and the board of directors will ratify it. They'll have a vote on that.
Okay, we have time for one more question. I'm the hotel and Communicado have told us we must be out 10 minutes ago.
Hi,
Amil?
Amil from Sri Lanka. A quick question. I have had some of our members asking, can we work as a group? Can we work as a chapter? I know there is no such formal. I know there are no such formal thing as a group locally. We are all individual members, generally by name and not even company. So just if you can clarify that, so it's good for everyone to know how that works.
I'm not sure what, I missed the first part of it.
Okay, so some local members have asked, is it a chapter when you take a group of people in a country, whether it's Thailand, India, Sri Lanka? So the question is that, okay, so it's we can have get-togethers, we can have sessions of sharing information within ourselves as ICA members, but does it amount to being a chapter, like, we have GIA chapters around the world, which I'm part of in Sri Lanka?
Yeah, we don't have official chapters by country. We do have communication channel on the portal. Many countries are represented there. So as you're probably aware, in Sri Lanka, they've got quite an active area in there for Sri Lankan members. And any country can get that going. So that's a very good way of communicating as, if you like, an unofficial chapter. Yeah.
The thing to remember, Armil, is that chapters are a great opportunity, but whether a person is a member of a chapter or not, if they're a member of ICA, they have all the rights and privileges of anyone who would be in the chapter. So it's just something to keep in mind, okay? Chapters are really something you can do to build interest and effectiveness in your own community. And we don't really have any rules for it or against it, but it's a great idea. GIA does a great job with their guild chapters or the alumni chapters.
So if we just roll down the rest of the balance sheet, just so that so that we can ensure everybody's had an opportunity to see that. As Doug said, if you want any further detail or copies of this, you only have to put your hand up and write to us. It's all there. So, look, I think obviously all of our board and our new board members are just about to meet. And if you have any questions, approach any one of us. If you have any interest in doing something for this wonderful organisation that can do so much around the globe for this beautiful industry, by all means put your hand up, come and see me, Doug, or any of the board members, and we'll try and suit you up with an ICA suit of armour and get you working on projects of one sort or another.
Volunteers, for ambassadors, for committees, I want to do everything I can to get Mimo to make up ICA green t-shirts for you to make it official. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, everybody.